So, hey, y'all, and welcome back to the Winning Wednesday podcast. I am your host, Geneva Brown, and we are continuing our Survivor series from brokenness to heal. And we're going to close out this series talking about mental health with my special guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Cody Martin. I'm a licensed therapist and I'm the founder and president of Adversity University, which is a life skill and mental health educational platform. How's everybody doing?
Ooh, all right. All right. Well, if they was asleep, you definitely woke the people up. So
No,
let's
I'm happy
jump
to
right
be here.
into it. I'm definitely happy to have you on, especially with the work that I know you've already been doing to impact our community. So let's just jump
Absolutely.
right in. What has been your experience with mental health?
Sure, I had a wide range of experience through mental health from a personal and professional standpoint. I guess I'll start with professional, then kind of go into the personal. But I've been in the field over 15 years, 15 plus. I ain't trying to age myself, but I've been in it for a while, right? But I've always seen like, the shortcomings as it relates to our community and the lack of resources to be able to get the help that people need. For a long time I've encountered so many people that wanted the services, but for whatever reason they couldn't get the services, whether it was they didn't have the insurances or they didn't qualify, or the diagnosis that they had didn't, it wasn't severe enough for them to be able to qualify for the services, right? And I just saw that as, man, that's really like that's terrible, to see so many people and families want help and they don't have the finances just to go pay, for the therapeutic services. And but they do have insurances, but they can't access it because their diagnosis, are not severe enough to be able to, give them the help they need. So what's happening? They just kind of left trying to figure it out. So I seen that for a lot of years. And when I seen that, well, I began teaching. I was teaching for about 4 years. Then I opened up my mental health agency a year into that. And that's when I started to see all of those things. So I started to work with a lot of my parents in the school. I started to work with a lot of the students in the school. And then obviously that's when I kind of excelled, resigned from teaching and just went full throttle in the mental health field. But it was a lot of ups and downs in that as well, right? You think that because you're good at something that you could just jump out there and start a business and it's just gonna automatically thrive. And it was a lot of
Mhm.
challenges from that standpoint. It was a lot of highs, but it was also a lot of lows, which kind of, resorted into um, things not going all the way that I wanted. You got to take a step back and regroup. And it also affected my mental health. You know what I'm saying, from a personal and personal standpoint. And I had to bounce back from that. Um, that along with the past trauma that I had to deal with in the past as a young person, turned adult, and then just kind of seeing what a lot of people are struggling with from a professional standpoint, it put things in perspective for me to take a look at myself and work on myself. So that's when I had to kind of pay attention to my past trauma and connect certain dots. When I connected those dots, I realized how much trauma I really had. Well, I really have because I still got it, right? But how much I needed to be able to manage all of the trauma that I dealt with and not project those negative thoughts, those negative feelings and emotions onto my loved ones, whether it's, my friends, coworkers, significant other, children. A lot of times we do that. And a lot of times
Mhm.
relationships that we have, they fail because of that. But we don't really know, if we're not self-aware enough, we don't really know why we behave the way that we behave. And I will encourage everybody to just, you know, peel back some of those layers so that you can understand what's really going on with you so that you can know how to move forward in life in your own personal relationships and as well as your family. My whole thing is being able to strengthen the family unit, and it all starts with us. You know what I'm saying? From the mothers and the fathers, right? We got to heal. In order to heal, we got to be aware to know that there's things that we need to work on so that we can work on those things and understand how, you know, to get from A to be, you know what I'm saying, without crashing out.
Right.
But so I mean, as far as the experience, you know, I've seen a lot, you know, obviously, you know, coming from where I come from, you know, we've seen a lot. And
Yeah.
you know, it's just it helped me. I think a lot of, you know, I live with no regrets. You know, it was definitely a challenge growing up, but I think that with the profession that I have today and the things that I went through back then, it prepared me for a world of success. And I'm grateful and thankful for that because where I'm at right now, nobody would ever think that, you know, 20, 30 years ago. But I mean, that's just how it goes,
Yeah.
man. And in life, we gotta, you know how to grow through situations. What we go through, we can grow through, but we gotta, you know, be prepared and willing to, you know, do the things that it takes to grow through it, you know. So yeah, that's my experience. I hope I answered your question. That was a little long-winded, but
Oh yeah, you definitely answered my question, and I want to know, was there like a turning point? There one particular time that you said, "Okay, I really need to. I can't keep going on like this. There is something else that's going on that I really need to dig deeper and become more aware of what's going on." Was there just one thing or one instance, one event that happened?
I won't say one. Um, nah, I can't say one because my life is so eventful. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's been a long journey of a lot of situations. See, man, I've always been aware. I just did what I wanted to do. I always
Okay.
know I had, you know, a quick temper, bad attitude. You know, I wanted to fight a lot. You know, get in trouble. I did a lot, right? So, um, but that was the norm. That was the norm for me, and it made me feel good at the time. I was young. I was young, dumb, and I just wanted
Right.
to do everything wrong. So obviously, I had to bump my head a whole bunch of times, and I was blessed that the worst didn't happen. In any situation that I bumped my head in, I was able to, you know what I'm saying, grow from it. So I learned from all my mistakes, but a turning point. I'm trying to find something that was a turning point. A major, I'll give you one major. One major turning point was when I was in college. Um, and you know, let me see, I'm trying to see how to start this story. When I was in college, you know, so long story short, um, you know, from Miami, what 14 years old, I ended up moving to Gainesville, right? And I was essentially on
Hmm.
my own, right? So I had to grow. I had to grow very fast. I made a lot of mistakes in the process, but I had to grow very fast. I got my stuff together, ended up going to college. Once I got to college, it's like that negative mindset came right back in there. And I started getting into a
Mm.
lot of trouble my freshman year. And then I seen that wasn't gonna go well, but I kept, you know, kind of bumping my heads and I kept having to learn from it. But then when I was at risk of losing my scholarship, that's when it hit. Like, okay, boy, you done did
Mm.
all this. You did all this just to throw it all away for what? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um it was a real turning point in my mindset shift. And that's the most important part. The mindset shift said, okay, if you want to see different, you got to be different. Right. So I understood, like, okay, I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. And
Hmm.
I'm definitely driving myself crazy by doing the things that I'm doing, and I'm not seeing the results that I want. So I had to look at myself at that point. It wasn't nobody, it wasn't my coach, it wasn't my teammates, it wasn't my
Hmm.
professors, it wasn't nobody. It was all me.
Yeah.
So if people are willing to give me an opportunity, why would I just piss it away? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, let
Hmm.
me let me think about this real quick. You know, my main thing is I want a degree. Okay.
Yeah.
Football at this point, I didn't care. Right. I wanted a degree. Right. I was on a mission. I needed to
Hmm.
shift my mindset. I needed to do something different. I wanted to graduate and make my family happy because, you know, when I was young, I got in trouble with the law. So
Hmm.
I wanted to prove to people that I wasn't that person that I'm way more than what that person, you know what I'm saying, did. So I was on a mission. So I had a goal at that point. I'm gonna stop getting in trouble. I'm gonna make my coach proud, my professors proud, my roommates proud, my teammates proud. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
make everybody, my mama proud, sisters proud, my family proud. And that was my goal, is to put smiles on people's faces, but to succeed as an individual and be the person that be the opposite of the person everybody thought I was gonna be. And that was a turning, that was a real pivotal moment for me to be able to succeed personally so that I can, set an example that, my goal was to be something different than what everybody thought I was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was a real pivotal moment for me, just to shift that mindset. And when I did that, Geneva, everything changed. I mean,
Yeah.
everything changed. And then, I became this person, but I still had to smooth out those rough edges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a journey, but that was a major moment for me.
Yeah. So did you have any mentors or anybody that you were able to go to during that time that you now you're on this journey to
Yeah,
do different, to be different,
yeah.
to prove that to people who you really can be, who you know you can be inside.
Yeah, for sure. I always had mentors. I forced people to be my mentors. I just walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, man, I need you to be my mentor," because I knew. Again, I was aware, right, and I knew my
Yeah.
shortcomings, and I know in order to, what I'm saying, see different, I got to be different. But if I don't know how to be different, somebody got to tell me. Somebody got to show me.
True.
Somebody got to walk with me, hold my hands, and when I make that mistake, they got to say, "Okay, this where you messed up at. This is how you can do better." And I'd be a fool to keep messing up because I got to learn from that mistake. So I definitely had mentors, and I always ask questions. I got to be the most inquisitive person ever because I just want to know how to get to that next stage and that next level of my life. I know I can't do it. I ain't see it. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? I didn't have anybody to guide me. So yeah, I had mentors. I had a mentor in high school, Mickey Ross. Um, my coaches were mentoring me by default. But Mickey Ross has definitely took me up under his wing. They knew I was just a kid living in, Gainesville, Florida. I ain't got no parents, I got no family, I ain't got nothing. I'm just there. I'm
Mm.
sleeping on couches, floors, house to house to house to house, just
Yeah.
trying to finish school so I can get to college. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so they saw that a lot of people took me up under their wings, and that helped me a lot. You know what I'm saying? It helped me, and which is why I give my life to being able to reach back and pull forward because that's how
Right.
I got here. You know what I'm saying? Like every stage and every level, that's how I got here.
Yeah.
So definitely mentors, man. That's the best thing ever in anybody's life. If you don't have a mentor, I encourage you to find somebody to be a mentor. And don't be scared to ask people to be your mentor. I'm telling you,
Mm.
I literally used to just meet people like them. I admired them and what they did, and I asked them to be my mentor. I tell them why I want them to be my mentor. These are great people. They're not going to say no. They're going to guide you. So get the guidance
Yeah.
that you need to be mentored into success. Period.
Yeah. So with that, I know the work that you do with Adversity University. Have you ever encountered, someone who just needed some help peeling back those layers of being more self-aware? What was that like? How was it? Because we see people and we see their potential,
Yeah.
especially when you have that heart to really help people. So
Yeah.
what has that experience been like? Just really trying to get people to become more aware that they have some things going on that they just need to get right.
Yeah. For me, it's easy. I ain't gonna say easy just like that, just to make it, but it's easy because I'm an open book. So I tell my
Mhm.
story. So when I tell my story, people feel like they can relate. They understand. They
Yeah.
understand that I know what I'm talking about. They understand that I've been there before. They understand that I fell in the pit and I had to climb my way out of that pit. So the best person to help you through a situation is the person that's been through a situation. So when I lead like
Hmm.
that, and then I help them become a lot more self-aware, and they realize what their shortcomings are, and then they want help from it, right? And again, who better to help you than somebody that's been through that fire? So
Oh yeah.
So when I speak to them, when I meet them, when I assess them, when I do these things, they come to that realization themselves. After 1 hour long conversation, they all in, right?
Mm,
Because they understand that what I do at AU, it's not just a business for me. It's a way of life. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
it's what I live. You understand? Because I understand like we all have to grow. We all got to understand how to block out distractions. We all got to understand how to set goals and execute
Yeah.
those goals and stay on target for those goals. We understand that, but everybody don't have the know-how behind that. And see,
Yeah.
it's the knowing or lack of that stop people from pursuing dreams or pursuing goals. So
Yeah.
if you could peel back those layers, if you can help somebody come a bit more self-aware and they can sit in their own stuff. It's just like putting a mirror up. They looking in the mirror, they
Yeah.
looking at reflection. You know what you need help with, whether I tell you or not. You know what you need help with. But see, me speaking to people and telling them my story, and I'm able to connect with them on a different level. I'm automatically speaking to a lot of their pain points, and me
Mm.
speaking to those pain points lets them know that I can help them through the pain, and that's where the healing starts. So,
Oh,
the
yeah.
process is not that difficult for me. If I stand in front of somebody um that's on that journey, that want to start that journey, they're gonna move. They're gonna
Yeah.
move because they're gonna understand the value.
Yeah. I love that you said that because that's really what this whole series has been about, us sharing our stories and
Yeah,
connecting with each other. That you are not the only person that has gone through this. You are not the only person that has experienced this, and you won't
right,
be. But it is
right.
our job to be able to be vulnerable enough to
Yes.
open ourselves up, and share, our story with others. And I just love how beautifully you said that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's real. It's real life for me,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I could definitely tell. So, how has being more self-aware for you, how has that guided you and how your life has changed the trajectory of your life now?
It's a gift and a curse. Well, I'll just talk about the gift. Um, it's really like it's kind of scary because you see everything, like everything.
Mm,
You see everything in you and you see everything in everybody.
mm,
So it's certain situations that I remove myself from real quick. There's certain people that I won't deal with at all. It's certain interactions that I just completely avoid because I know me, and
right.
I've experienced certain things before. And it's like nothing's new under the sun. So
No.
it helped me to mature a lot. I ain't gonna say faster, but I mature a lot from a personal standpoint and a business standpoint. Um, which leads to the gift because it helped me business wise. Me being self-aware, I understand all my shortcomings. So if I
Mm,
understand all my shortcomings, I know how to fill those gaps. Whether I need to be educated a little bit more, I need to be trained on something a little bit more, or I need to delegate something somewhere, right? Because I can't do
yeah.
everything. I can't pursue everything. We want everything,
Hmm.
but we can't actually have everything. So we got to know what we can and cannot have, what we can and cannot do. But business wise, it helped me a lot because when I was younger in business, I just went straight for the money, like straight for the money. I just want money, 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 money. And I realized just chasing money get you in trouble very fast. And
Yeah.
um, I had to realize I ain't really just this money dude. I'm all about impact, right?
Yeah.
So when I stopped chasing money, I started chasing impact. I understood this is where it is. Because
Yeah.
when you chase making an impact, the money gonna follow. You'll never have to chase money. You just got to be true to yourself and what it is that you want to accomplish. When I
Yeah.
did that, Geneva, everything changed for me.
Wow.
Everything changed for me. I stopped chasing money and I started making more. You know what I'm saying? But when I was chasing
Yeah.
money, it wasn't coming how I wanted to come. But I just say, I understand that I'm walking in my purpose, and I guess that I kind of ended on that. The gift is me being aware, help me walk in my purpose, help me understand my purpose, and I walked in it, and I ain't looked back since.
Yeah, definitely. You haven't.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you on the move with all that you're doing. And I
Yeah.
definitely want you to share some of the work that you're doing. But I do have one other question for you.
Hmm.
What was the most, or what has been the most valuable lesson, revelation that you have gained so far? Because I know you say you're still on your journey, but so
Hmm.
far in your mental health journey.
Um, that is not, I'm not weak. Um,
Mm,
I'm not soft. I'm not, because I used to think that when I was young, that's how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? I was a football player all my life since I was 5 or 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? We're trained to be killers, right? We're trained to be warriors. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So just on the football field and even off the football field in that environment, it's like off the football field, you got to fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to toughen up. You got to do all these things. Me, I was fighting every day when I was young. So then you translate to on the football field. You know what I mean? And you're rough, 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 rough. And it's like that's kind of all you know. So I had to, you know what I'm saying? I done lost the trainer. What was that question? Because I'm about to drift into something else. Tell me that question again. I'm about to go
No,
somewhere else.
that's all right. And if you would have, that would have been fine. But the question was, what was the most valuable insight or revelation that you have learned in your
Oh yeah,
mental health journey so far?
yeah. Because I was so rough and tough, I used to, and I'll just be honest. Even when I first became a counselor, I was like, I wasn't going to counseling because I just thought I had it. You know what I'm saying? Figured out.
Right.
But then once I started, I realized, dang, you know what? This thing is connecting so many dots. It's connecting so many dots and answering so many questions that I had subconsciously and consciously. So it's like it's so valuable. First of all, admitting that you need help requires so much strength. So I need people to stop
Yeah.
saying, you know what I'm saying, you're weak. You know, men
Right.
men don't need therapy. Men don't need talking. Yes, men do. Men need it more than anybody because what we deal with. There's so much
Yeah.
unsaid that goes on in our day to day. There's so much fear that's
Yeah.
associated with who we are. You
Yeah.
understand? Just innately, right? Police get behind us. I'm my heart pounding,
Yes.
pounding. I'm scared because I don't know what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like these type of things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, it really add to past trauma, present trauma. You know what I'm saying? But then when we experience these fears, these negative emotions, these negative thoughts, we feel like we got to get more hard, right? And when we
Mm-hmm.
get more hard, we start shutting out everybody. We start getting more angry because we're more hard and we start going off on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then we
Mm-hmm.
start
Yeah.
projecting. And they like, what's wrong with him? It's a whole lot going on with him, but he ain't expressing none of it because he's taught to hold it all in.
Yes.
That's why he going off all the time. That's why he's snapping, and you just think he crazy. He ain't crazy. He's just got a lot going on upstairs, and he's never processed these things. And he's never sat in
Right.
front of a professional to be able to help guide him in the thoughts, connect the dots that are present that can go all the way back to past, and make him understand why he's doing some of the things that he does. Right? These are the things that I had to learn in my journey. I realized,
Mm-hmm.
why I was so angry. I realized why I felt like somebody's disrespecting me all the time. I realized, you know, why I'm so rough. I'm just a rough person, right? Um, but that don't mean that I can't soften up. That don't mean that, I got girls. I got two daughters. I got a wife, no sons, right? So I have to be soft. There's no room for all that tough rah,
Mm-hmm.
rah, rah. There's no room for that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how they're not playing no football. They're not going
Right.
boxing. They ain't doing no wrestling. They ain't doing none of that. Right? They're queens and
Right.
princesses, and I need to treat them as such. And so to
Yeah.
be able to do that, you have to tap into your softer side. Well, how do you do that if you never did? Right? You got to
Mm.
talk to somebody and express what your intentions are, what your goals are, and they can help get you
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? So my journey has been beautiful. Now, I'm gonna be honest. When you first start, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough because, like I said earlier, you gotta hold a mirror up, right? that therapist gonna put that mirror up and you got to see your own stuff, right? And in the
Yeah.
process of seeing your own stuff, you got to admit certain things. You might
Yeah.
have trauma that's associated with your mama, with your daddy, but you might love your mama to death. You might love your daddy to death, so you don't want to see that they had shortcomings, you know what I'm saying, that fell on
Right.
you. The apple don't fall too far from the tree, so you got to be real with that, right? And if they
Yeah.
got lack of knowledge on how to actually, you know what I'm saying, raise you, you know what I'm saying, bring you in the right way, guide you in the right way, educate you the right way, if they ain't had that, all they can give you is what they have. Just think about you as an individual. All you could give somebody
Yeah.
is what you got, period.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be rough at first, but then you're gonna learn to give your parents grace, just like you expect your children to give you grace when they get older.
Yes.
Because guess what? We failed them a lot.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Right.
We all have shortcomings. We all fall short. The thing is, identifying how many times, when did I fall short, and learning from those things that so that you don't make the same mistake over and over again. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So I've learned to apologize all the time, like
Oh yeah.
all the time. All I do is apologize. My girls got it. Well, they don't think I'm the soft, but they know daddy express love, and I apologize every day. I tell
Yeah.
them I love them. I tell them I love them 3 to 5 times a day at minimum. I kiss them 3 to 5 times a day at minimum. You know what I'm saying? And I apologize maybe 3 to 5 times a week, right? So
Yeah.
because they need to know, like, if daddy upset, I'm upset at the situation, not at you. Like, period.
Yeah.
It's a situation, not at you. You my princess. There's no reason for me to be mad at you, but I am gonna correct you. You understand?
Yeah.
So with me correcting you, just for you to learn so that you don't do the same thing over and over again. And if I had to keep repeating these things, then I'm gonna get even more upset. We don't want that. So let's move on to let's move on the right side of things so that we can, get to where we're trying to get to. And they're
Yeah.
on board. I incorporate my kids in a lot of things, especially decision making and structure, because I like for them to buy in because
Yeah.
it's not me forcing anything. So when I have my upset moments or I'm silent or, they can see when I'm frustrated about something. They come up to me and they make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? And they pep
Yeah.
talk me. they'll, they'll pep talk me, but that's a learned behavior,
Yeah.
right? You have to teach
Of
that.
course. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's gonna help them, and that'll help them for when it's time for them to have children. You know what I'm saying? To be able to communicate
Yeah.
and express themselves. So yeah.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. Now, when you were talking about how you tell the girls you love them and you kissing them, it's just like you're affirming them. You're affirming their value and their worth, and that goes a long
Absolutely.
way. And so, all of us need that, not just as
Mm-hmm.
children, even as adults.
Right.
We have that inner longing for that affirmation, within
Mm-hmm.
us that we need. And
Yep.
yeah, I love how you said that because
Yeah.
that is so true. And if you
Mm-hmm.
if you start out that way, then you know how to give it out to someone else too.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
apologizing goes a long way.
Oh man. Oh man. Saved my life. It saved me every day.
But you know what? 2 words, I'm sorry. It's so hard for people to say. It
Mm-hmm.
is because
Yeah.
we always have this thing that, especially from an adult talking to a child or an
Mm-hmm.
adult talking to another adult, and you supposed to be the adult that's the expert.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you should never be wrong. You should always be right. But that's not true. Like you said, we all have shortcomings. We all make mistakes, and it is okay.
Absolutely.
We all need to grow and learn from each other. We can learn from our kids. We can learn from
Mm-hmm.
from everyone. No one
Mm-hmm.
is, apt to not being able to teach you something and you can learn from it. We can learn from anyone, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm learning every day from them little girls.
Yeah, especially it's true. Yeah, because
Hmm.
my kids, they way better at technology than me. And
Right.
I'm just like, hey, I grew
Hmm.
up in the technology era. That's like when it started. We
Right.
was like the one starting technology
Right.
with the computer, the first Apple
Right. Now
computers
we
and the
behind.
beepers and all of that, right?
Right.
being able to put the little codes in the beeper. Like that was our first texting, right? We was the
Yeah, absolutely.
master. You
Absolutely.
remember the whole book used to have page. Oh Lord. But anyway. But yeah, we could all definitely learn. We have not arrived and we'll always be, learning. So
For
before
sure.
we go ahead and share about the work that you're currently doing, how people can contact you, any events, your website, how can
Okay.
they reach out?
So the website is adversityuonline.com. My social media handles Cody Motivation, COTY Motivation. That's on IG. Um, as far as what I do, I have a so I have an online school. I have an online community. The actual community is where I host the live classes that we do. Um, just to kind of give you an understanding of just the structure, we have, male groups, male support groups, women support groups. We do a personal growth challenge monthly, and we have semester challenges where there's 10-week stretches where the individual focus on themselves in semester type of a way. Our thing is to be proactive as it relates to your mental health, right? Give you the tools and skills that it can that you need to navigate the spaces of life and overcome hardship. Um, because it's inevitable, right? Adversity, hence
Yeah.
adversity university. We all go experience some type of adversity, but the key is knowing how to overcome those things, and that requires a resilient person. And to be resilient, you got to be the type of person that's willing to advance through adversity. So, essentially, that's what we do. So, with the live community and the classes that's facilitated, they're all facilitated by actual licensed therapists, including myself. And yeah, our aim is to heal 1 million families. So in order to do that, I
Mm.
realized we got to go straight to the parents. Go straight to the
Yeah.
parents, give them what they need, give them tools to be able to help them give those same tools to their children, but also apply them to their own lives day to day so that they can accomplish the success that they need to accomplish. Whatever success look like, it could be subjective, right? So, and I ain't just talking about money. Like money ain't success to me, right? The
Hmm.
emotional intelligence and growth and mental and emotional stability, that's a successful household for me.
Yeah.
Because what happens is those people, right, that are healed, right, that are emotionally intelligent, that could communicate, that understand how to get to a certain destination, like once that's in you, it don't go away.
That's
So
right.
once you start procreating, right, and you feeding that into that young person go. So that's the generational blessing. So I call Adversity
Yeah.
University the generational blessing because we getting rid of the generational curse that exists. So all you got to do is want it, and it's here for you.
Yeah.
You definitely go here messing with me because I'm gonna force you to.
Well, all right, y'all heard it. If you sign up, be ready.
For sure.
That's it. That's it. But did
Absolutely.
you have anything else you wanted to share with our listeners today?
Nah, man, I just like to say, knowledge is power and shared knowledge is more powerful. So I'm just appreciate being here to share, knowledge, share these episodes, share the winning Wednesdays. I mean, because information is power and we need to consume more information, more real information, because there's a whole
Yeah.
lot of information out there that we don't need. We don't need to even consume, but the information that'll help strengthen the family unit and heal you, your inner child, and your actual child. I mean, come on, it's a no
Yeah.
brainer. So yeah, I encourage everybody to rock with me and the AU fam team motivation because I mean this is a life mission for myself and
Yeah.
everybody associated. You know what I'm saying with us. So I'm empowering families and I'm empowering therapy. So that's where we at with it.
All right. Well, y'all, that's the Winning Wednesday word. Thank y'all for joining me. And I will see y'all in the next one.